today, I'm mixing my paint color, even though it's still a secret. You guys get to meet Mr. Ed, our painter. We tour his garage and his booth, and then we completely prepare Carl to get him ready for paint. There's a lot going on. Hi guys, welcome back to Ellie's garage, where my dad and I are restoring a 1965 Ford Falcon to become my daily driver. But we've never done this before. We are starting this week off at Finish Masters, where we are picking up my paint supplies, and I even get to mix my own paint. Now you guys aren't going to get to see the paint color this week, unfortunately, but we wanted to show you the process because the people there were so nice, and they even let some of my friends and family come in. So it was just a really fun, party kind of.
See that number on the scale? You want to get to that number, 2029.9.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you imagine doing that all day long?
No. Black?
Second color is a black.
Oh.
And we're going to 2206.2.
Thank you so much for letting me be back here to see this.
Not a problem, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See ya.
So that was amazing, getting to see my color in person for the very first time. I know you haven't seen the color, but it's so worth the wait. We're going to go to Mr. Ed's now to drop off all the paint, and we are going to get a little tour of his booth. Okay guys, so this is Ed. Ed is our painter, and he has a shop and a painting booth in his backyard, which would be my dream. He also is completely self-taught in cars and painting, and has been doing this for over 30 years. Now, Ed is definitely a Chevrolet man.
It's a Ford color.
And his specialty is in 55, 56, and 57 Chevys. And after we got to tour some of his other garages and see some of his current projects that he's working on, we finally got to see the booth where Carl is going to be painted.
Your car is going to come right in here. So you can picture where your car is going to be at, right?
Yeah. Now Ed is donating everything that he's doing in this project, meaning he's donating his time and skills and teaching me at the same time. So we are very grateful to Mr. Ed for just being willing to do all of this and supporting my project like that. But I also wanted to know why he liked doing this kind of work in general, and why he wanted to donate his help to me.
These old cars, I've always had a passion for them. And to be able to take something that was, like this car right here was going to scrap, to be able to take it and put it and bring it back to life. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It turns around and makes me feel good that I can turn around and take a car to a car show and somebody says, wow, who did this? I did this. Yeah. You know, just as you're going to be doing it with your car.
It's one of the things that I'm proudest of, is that I get to turn around and when people go, where'd you get this? And I made it.
Yes.
It's super exciting.
And to see, for me to meet people like yourself, and that's why I was so anxious, I said, yes, let's go ahead and I want to do this with you. You know, it's because seeing a person of your age turn around and want to get into these old cars and get in there and learn and do it, versus having the folks that turn around and just say, hey, I like old cars, I'm going to buy this one.
Yeah.
You know, you and your dad got in there and just watch you. If I had a daughter, I would hope that she'd be just like you.
Oh. So, like I said, Ed is the best. And he's so amazing to be willing to help us paint Carl, and I'm so thankful for all of his support. But now it's time to get serious, because we had to get Carl over to Mr. Ed's and prep him for paint. He used to be so clean. out of dust.
Oh.
I didn't even think about half the places you're blowing air in. Like, that's crazy to think that there's so many different...
There's so many different areas.
Oh my gosh.
Who did this welding over here?
Me.
Looks good.
Oh, thanks! Once Carl was over at Ed's, the first thing we needed to do was get him cleaned. So, Dad and I started wiping him down with wet rags while Mr. Ed started blowing out all the nooks and crannies.
What was that?
He thinks we're gonna be good. Over and the sun setting, we were just getting started. Because now it was time to get Carl into the booth and get him wiped down and masked off. We wiped Carl down with grease and wax remover to make sure the surface was completely clean.
Are you ready?
No.
I'll start right here.
Alright.
Okay, you're gonna start on that side. What we're gonna do, you're gonna tape it down like that. Okay. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use plastic. So we're gonna cover the whole thing in plastic. So wherever the sticky surface is, that's where it's gonna stick. Okay. Try to pull it a little bit.
So basically for the taillights, because we're wrapping everything in plastic, we don't want anything to stick to them, so we had to tape them front ways, back tape them, and then tape them with the rest of the tape, which was quite difficult.
Pretty cool, huh? Oh, primer time.
The last step was to make sure that all the cut through to bare metal was covered with automotive primer, which in most cases was everywhere.
Just take a scuff pad. And scuff it, and we'll be all right. And
Up here and on here. And once the priming was done, we used some scuff pads to get all the overspray off, and then we were finally ready for paint. Guys, I'm so happy that Carl is ready to paint. It's been a long process, but it's finally here. But what I'm really blown away by is Mr. Ed's kindness in this project of not only being willing to donate his time and efforts to do this for free, but also I'm just overall really grateful for his teaching and his encouraging throughout this whole process. So what I'm taking out of the garage is that projects and goals matter. They 100% do. But what matters more is the people that you meet and the things you learn along the way that really change who you are as a person. If you haven't seen it, check out this video where we wet sanded Carl in the rain. Thank you as always to my executive producers, Drew Carter and Kevin and Julia. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time in the garage when we paint Carl.